Hi, everybody. I'm Leon Thomas. Welcome to a special edition of Real Thoughts and Conversations here on the Leon Thomas Group Network. To learn more about the Leon Thomas Group, check out our website. That's the leonthomasgroup.com. One of the things we're most proud of is the opportunities that we provide for college students and recent grads who are interested in broadcasting, media, and other related areas. So if you know someone that's interested in broadcasting, virtual events, media, video production, please ask them to contact me. You can do so by asking them to contact me via email. My email address is leon at the leonthomasgroup.com. And this is a racquetball t-shirt. I want you to know that I run one of the largest youth racquetball programs in the country. To learn more about that, go to racquetballrevival.com. So today, we're going to talk about back to school and the cost of school supplies. And we're going to do that with two guests. We have Lisa Barnum as one of our guests today, and Pastor Dane Carraway, the pastor of Church at the Well in Towson, Maryland. Let's bring both of them on and let's talk to them. Lisa, hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for being with us. And Pastor Dane Carraway, thanks for being with us.
Absolutely. Appreciate you having me.
Thank you. And it's great to have both of you here. Lisa, you and I used to see each other three, four, five times a year at hotel events all the
I
time,
know.
right? And it was great to interact with you then. And we slowly built a relationship and found out that hey, we're both Christians. Isn't that pretty cool? Right? I mean, isn't it like you wonder like why does it take like the fifth, sixth, seventh time? Why not like how you doing? I'm Leon. I'm a Christian. I follow Jesus, but
Amen.
great, but we eventually got there. And Pastor Dane Carraway is my pastor at Church at the Well in Towson, Maryland. Pastor, it's great to have you with us as
Man,
well.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
And one of the things that really sparked this conversation that we're going to have today about the cost of school supplies is kind of to give you a little background. Lisa, about a week ago, I'm scrolling through LinkedIn and I saw this post that you made. Let's show that post that Lisa made. Lisa's post, and I'll read it for everyone. It says, I'd like to challenge employers to recognize their employees' efforts this time of year by giving their staff a back to school bonus. Everything has gone up, including school supplies and school clothes. Parents have to pay a ton of money for almost everything their children want to participate in now. Please think about giving your hardworking parents, employees, a bonus to help pay for those extra expenses and relieve the back to school stress. I've kicked off this challenge by helping my employees pay for these expenses. Please consider it. Go out and be the light for someone. That is just outstanding. So Lisa, I saw that and I said we need to have a show about that. And so here we are. So Lisa, tell us. You said you in that post. You said you've done something. Tell us what did you do?
I gave every one of my staff members, depending on how many children they had, $500 per child. And it didn't matter if you had been with me, 15 years or if you've been with me 3 days. Um, it's just extremely expensive for children to go to school these days. And there are surveys after surveys that have been posted this month and last month about the cost of taking your kids shopping for either school supplies or school clothes, and it's averaging $541 per student. That is just to get them in the door.
Yeah.
Then when they get there, the teachers give them these dreaded huge thick packets they have to take home, and then the parents sit there for a night, 2 nights, filling out these big thick packets per grade per student, and you're just sitting there writing checks. I remember when our three sons went to school, I would write out sometimes $500 or $600 per child.
Mhm. And Lisa, you mentioned your company. I want to make sure we talk some about that. Your company is called Hotel Resources, and you are a sales and marketing solutions company. So
Right.
you want, if you're in the hotel business, because I know a lot of folks that watch this show are in the hotel business. A lot of Lisa's contacts are in the hotel business. Go to hotelresources.com to learn more about her business. And Lisa, you talked about the cost and all that parents are going through now. Pastor Dane, at Church at the Well,
Yeah.
for the last 3 or 4 years or so, you've done something special at our church. Tell us about that.
Yeah, for the last 4 years, this will be the fourth year. We've done what we call Start Well, Be More. And it really was for us, one of our core values of our church is that we're going to send each other into areas of need. We didn't want to just pick an effort that was already existing. We wanted something that kind of matched our context and actually met the need of the area that we're in. So being in Towson, right above Baltimore, there is I wouldn't say like we've actually praise God for our state leaders and our city leaders. Our homeless rate has actually gone down recently. But one of the numbers that kind of surprised me was that 17% of the unsheltered population in Baltimore County and City is 17% of them are youth. So under the age of 18 are either teenagers or kids that do not have a home. And for us, we wanted to kind of enter into a space where some of these kids are in shelter, some of these kids are living with other families or family members of theirs that are taking them in. But we wanted to give an answer for even what Lisa just talked about, just the high expense in some of the less privileged areas that we live in. We know poverty, regardless if someone has a home or not, is just something that's real in our area. And we just know that school supplies is a hard thing. One of the statistics that really broke my heart and really gave me the motivation for this is that statistics show that if a kid that will not finish the school year, that if a kid like drops out of school at any age level, whether it be kindergarten all the way to 12th grade, that most of the time that student did not have all the school supplies needed at the beginning of the school year. They just didn't have what they needed. They didn't have the backpack. They didn't have the paper. They didn't have the pens and pencils. So for our church, we knew that we couldn't be a church that talked to people about how much we love them and how much we care without showing them. And the first year we did 25 backpacks, and last year we did 50. And our goal this year is to do 75 backpacks full of school supplies, so that at least 75 students could be able to start the school year with everything that they needed.
Hmm. And it's so great the things that both of you are doing. And Lisa, I know your church is doing some things too, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But the cost, the cost of supplies and clothing and everything that the school wants kids to have, it's just it seems to me it's just out of hand. And I know that things
Mhm.
are we have a great deal of inflation now and all that. I get it, but it's just crazy the cost of things. So Pastor Dane, to start with you on this one regarding the cost, are you asking? I know we are, but you can tell some about it. We're asking the congregation to help with those supplies. What are the ways that folks that attend Church of the Well and others can help in your efforts? And then Lisa will talk some about what your church is doing.
Yeah, so we have a giving link on thewellbaltimore.com under the tab of give, and that there will be a specific way that if people want to be able to just give to that, if for folks in our church as well as someone else, that they can find, and we'll post it on our social media pages. That we have a Amazon wish list that people can purchase, and that shows up at my house. If I could move I don't know if I'll be able to do a good job, but I can move the camera right behind me over here on our floor. Are already boxes full of school supplies that folks from our church and others have already given to. So yeah, those are just to be able to give their dollars. Folks are going to be able to make it out to the store. We will in the next 2 weeks. We're really pushing hard at this. People will be bringing backpacks and school supplies to school so they can purchase them themselves. And yeah, to be able to just send them through Amazon if they're picking up stuff for their own kids or young folks.
That's great. I'm glad that our church is doing that. And folks, if you don't have a child or a grandchild or niece or nephew, you can still help, right? You can go to the Well Baltimore and click on giving, and you can help support the effort there. And Lisa, in the post that I read earlier, and you told us that you gave bonuses to your employees to help in this effort. First, tell us, how did those employees respond to that bonus that you gave? And then also talk about some of the things that yet your church does.
Well, my staff not only were surprised, they were thrilled, but most of them cried because it was just such a relief that somebody thought about them and not just at Christmas, you know. As a business owner, I take it. My husband always tells me we're never going to die rich because I'm always going to give our money away. But as a business owner, we're taken care of. We are blessed. And I just believe because we are blessed, we have to bless others. And my staff know very, very much so that I'm a Christian. I pray for them, I take care of them. If they need anything, it doesn't matter. I have bought them refrigerators, I bought them, paid for their electricity, I pay for their doctor bills. Everybody gets in a bind. Everybody does. And so it doesn't matter who you are. We've got to be able to help the people that are taking care of us. And not only do I do this in our my company, but I lead. I'm a co-chair of leading our missions committee at our church, and we have about 18,000 members at our church. So I'm very involved in giving away a lot of money every year and to different organizations. And one of the things 2 years ago, right after COVID, we started dreaming this. And, our senior pastors were like, dream big. What can we do to help others? And we now have a mobile market, an 18 wheeler trailer that we pull around to different schools and we feed communities. And so we're at 3 different schools. We're now trying to put food pantries, stationary food pantries, like mobile buildings in around schools so the whole community can have food because there's just such a huge shortage of food everywhere. And so with whether it's we're feeding people or our school drive, I think next Saturday, actually this coming Saturday, we have a big school drive and we've bought around 750 backpacks, enough to fill 750 backpacks because we not only do we feed those schools and take care of them and have the weekend backpack program where we're putting meals for these students to take home with them for the weekend so they have something to eat, but we also get them ready for the beginning of the year.
Mhm. Just dream with me, both of you dream with me. Let's say that every company, every small business did something to help their staff, right? And
Mhm.
many organizations in the community did things that are happening at Church at the Well and that are happening at your church, White's Chapel in Texas, Lisa. Um, Imagine what things would be like, how relieved folks would be during this beginning of the school year. And Pastor Dane, to your point about kids that don't finish the school year, the stats show that one of the reasons is that they don't have what they need, right? Think about the impact that has on our total community if we would all, if everyone would just try to do something as you are doing as individuals and as your churches are doing. So I just want to applaud both of you for your efforts and what you're doing to help make a difference. And y'all talked about, Lisa, in your post. First, did you get a lot of comments about that, about your post, about here's what I've done or let's do something? Did anybody respond to you and say I'm gonna
You,
do it, or what has happened?
but you and one other person. Other than that, I got a lot of thumbs up, but not much more,
Uh,
which I
yeah,
was hoping would spur somebody to say, you know what, I think this is a great idea. I think, yeah, I could do that for my staff. I mean, why are you sitting there with huge profits in your bank, just making more profits
yeah,
whenever we could be taking care of the people that take care of us?
Mm.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And Pastor Dane, the cost of school supplies and clothing, activities,
Yeah,
that really hits home for you. You have a family of three.
I do. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, so, I mean, like, the average American family will spend $700 at the beginning of the school year just to get ready for one child. So multiply that times three for us. Um, and then, I mean, and that's school supplies. I mean, and that's the thing that I hope people understand is that for think about like what that could do for people. I love what Lisa is doing because it's that like that giving of 500 to our employees that's a goes a huge way, you know. But on the way, like I think it's around $1,000 per school year, and extra school supplies and extracurricular fees and technology now is a thing, and make that $1,200 for middle schoolers, and then I think it's upward somewhere around $1,700 or for high schoolers, and that's what people have in front of them to deal with. But it's just I think more so it's a gesture, and I love what Lisa said. You know, like that. You know, maybe people catch on to it, and maybe they don't. But the people that will remember that and that gesture are the employees, and if they're ever in a position, you know, if they have the opportunity to do something for someone that they on paper don't have to do, they will remember that kindness. They remember that gesture just to care for the people that they can.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We're going to take a quick break. I'm Leon Thomas, the host of Real Thoughts and Conversations. We're here with Lisa Barnum and Pastor Dane Carraway talking about the high cost of school supplies and what their companies and churches are doing to help families offset the cost and making sure that their kids have the supplies. At the Leon Thomas Group, we provide opportunities for college students, recent grads, and now even high school students to gain experience in media, virtual events, and other related areas. During the break, we're going to take a look at three commercial pieces that members of the team at the Leon Thomas Group produced. We'll be right back after this short break.
Renting is everything. It's style at your doorstep, off the runway and into your closet. It's every trend you've been dying to try and every designer you've yet to discover. It's wearing it your way every time and making it count everywhere you go. It's never worrying about what to wear because something new is always coming your way. That's why renting is everything. New styles, top designers, all for a flat monthly fee. Start your subscription at renttherunway.com.
Slow roasted over hickory fire and pulled by hand. This is the way pit pork has always been done. Pulled pork lovers, rejoice. The smoky old days are back at the Smoke Shack. From the creative team that brought you The Browning Project and Dead by Morning comes a new thriller that will change the way you look at white-collar crime forever. Falling from the Sky.
I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. Podcast, virtual events, webinars, streaming shows, and so much more. We want to be your partner in all things virtual.
welcome back to Real Thoughts and Conversations. The voices that you heard, those were the voices of Kelly Johnson and Dion Hunter, and all the editing and everything was done by students and employees of the Leon Thomas Group. So if we can help you, contact me via email, leon at the Leon Thomas Group. Let's bring our guests back on, Lisa Barnum and Pastor Dane Carraway. Thank you both for being with us here on this special edition of Real Thoughts and Conversations. I'm going to tell you something that happened when my youngest son, who's 26, when he was in elementary school. So they give us this long list of things that you need to buy, and we bought everything. My son goes to school. He comes back home the next day with supplies, but not the supplies we bought him. Like we bought like heavy duty yellow folders. He comes back with a cheap yellow folder. We bought serious number 2 pencils. He comes back with weak number 2 pencils. We were hot. Is that still happening now that everybody brings supplies and just kind of put them together, or do kids keep their supplies now? What do y'all know? How does that work now?
That depends on the
Lisa, you go
schools.
first.
That will depend on the school district.
Whoa,
Yeah.
what?
I think it depends. I've heard, and I've experienced that too, Mr. Leon, where what we send is not what comes home. And I think, especially nowadays, a lot of schools are going to models where you just kind of pay a fee, and what's given to you is given to you, and it may not be the best of qualities. So yeah.
Okay, so that hasn't changed too much in that time. And even if there's a fee you're going to pay, parents have to have the money. That's where y'all come in and can help. And so, Pastor Dane, I want to think about this for a second. Lisa, you gave up $500 to employee per student. So if Pastor Dane was working for you, he would have gotten a $1,500 bonus.
Absolutely.
What?
Now, I mean, like it's, you know, that, and for us, that would have, I would have really appreciated my employer. I think that's a,
Yeah.
you know, it's a great way to go.
Yeah, for sure. That Lisa, your company, Hotel Resources, take a minute and tell us about what you do. Then Pastor Dane wants you to tell folks some about your church. So Lisa, you tell us about your business and your church some, and then we'll hear some about Church at the Well in Towson, Maryland. Go ahead, Lisa.
Thank you. Well, my business has been we've been in business for 30 years this year, and we help hotel owners build revenues for their hotels. As we do 2 things. We either train hotel salespeople how to find business, like we know how to find business. And so I go around the country at different brands and different management companies and train their staff, or we train them virtually, or we have task force salespeople that we can build your business for you if you don't have the staff. So it's all about trying to increase revenues for our clients.
All right, great. Now, folks in the hotel business that are watching this show, Lisa's really good at what she does. Her company's really good. I used to love recommending her company to hotel owners. Used to absolutely love it. Lisa, you weren't paying out bonuses then either. I don't recall getting a bonus.
I've always paid up bonuses.
Oh my God. So, but yeah, you do great work. And so thank you for what you do in the hotel business. Everyone appreciates that. Pastor Dane, tell us about Church at the Well.
Yeah, so we are we are up here in Towson, Maryland. We've been around since our really origins are March 3rd of 2020. I don't know if anybody remembers that date. It's when the world decided to shut down. That's when we landed here in Towson, me and my wife and our 3 kids, Cold, Chase, and Camilla. My wife's name is Anna. And we started as a house church. And when I mean house church, I mean us in our home, just us. And then we became a house church that invited other folks. And then in January um, of 2023, so last year, we launched out of a local movie theater here in Towson. So since then, we've grown, and our church is passionate about touching about. I'm sorry, helping people become followers of Jesus. I was going to give our sending churches a purpose statement, but we are passionate about helping people become followers of Jesus, and we're passionate about doing that together. We're a church that loves being together and loves working together to bring people to know and serve Jesus. And we've been doing that around Towson and the Baltimore area, and we want to see those efforts multiply year after year.
That's great, and it's great to have you as my pastor at church at the Well. And so as we begin to close, we have like 3 to 4 minutes left in the show. Getting back to our hot topic about the cost of school supplies and what individuals can do. Lisa, let's start with you. If you were to talk to another business owner and about why you gave your employees that bonus and you're trying to sell that other business owner on why they should consider doing something similar, what would you say to them? Why should they do this?
I would say we have no idea as a business owner what it's like to live in the shoes of our employees.
Mhm.
I know my employees work more hours than they clock in and they charge me for. I have someone that is going through cancer treatments, and I just said, I don't care how long you have to go through this. I don't, I'm not large enough to be able to provide insurance for my employees, but I can pay them. Whether they can work or not, I can pay them. And this particular gentleman sat there taking chemo treatments, making phone calls for our clients. And I did not know that. That's what they do for you. We have no idea what they do for us. But we receive a nice paycheck saying that they're doing their job, that our clients are happy. And so they're not doing it just for their health. They're doing it because they care about us as people. We're not just an employer. They care about us or they wouldn't do it. So we've got to care back. We've got to care when they're up, they're down, when their family's in trouble. Their family's my family. So I would say treat your employees like they are your family and take care of them.
Great. And Pastor Dane, talk to us if someone were to ask about some statistics and why they should the importance of the having all the supplies and
Right.
why they should give to Lisa's church or another organization or church at the Well. Give some expressions on why that's just so critical to do for students and families.
Yeah, I mentioned some of them earlier. That specifically in our area, there is in the teens, 12 to 13% of young people make up the homeless population here. Obviously, we want to see anybody in that space, but there's great organizations that churches, if they most churches should be connected with. That if you give to a church that's doing an effort like ours, it will get to the right people. It'll get to folks that are able to help in these situations. We didn't create this. I know churches that do programs like this. Lisa just mentioned what they do at their church. So if you see a church doing this, that they're one of the things churches should be good at is connecting with the right organizations to handle those things. And then when it comes to just the if you are able to, this is a one like that's going to appeal to followers of Jesus. If you are able to do something that blesses a young person, that helps them in some way, to show them that you care about them, only will that help them make it to the end of the school year. Like I said earlier, that the majority of students who drop out don't have what they need at the beginning of the school year. But what it also does is that young people are reaching people with the gospel at double the rate of adults. So just think about it from a gospel standpoint. If we could do something that shows young people, whether they know Jesus or not, but somebody loved them, and if it in any ways encourages them not only to know Jesus but then share Jesus, they're going to do it double the rate at the adult that you are. So I could talk all day about this stuff. I love the numbers. I love the things that we can put tangibly behind why we do what we do and the mission that we have. So.
Great. Now, and thank you, Pastor Dane. Thank you, Lisa Barnum, for being with us. But before we go, we have one more question, and you have 30 seconds to give your answer.
Mhm.
We're going to start with you, Pastor Dane. You are successful. Lisa, you are successful. Both of you have had great success. You're well respected in your communities and in the areas that you work. Take 25 seconds now. Pastor Dane, if you were to give advice to your 20-year-old self, what would you tell your 20-year-old self? And then Lisa, will go to you.
My 20-year-old self, I would say spend less time watching Washington football because they're not going to win anytime soon. Just the way that it is. I would tell myself that you won't regret investing in ministry education with the time that you have, and to spend time with the older folks in my family while they're still here.
Uh-huh. All right, great. Thank you.
I
Lisa, what advice?
didn't mean to start with like a funny one and end with a solemn one, but that's what I'm saying.
But they were all real and true. I mean,
Sure.
I'm still trying to figure out how someone is pastoring a church in the Baltimore area, but they're a Washington football fan. But that's another thing. We'll figure
God
that out
called us
later.
to Baltimore to share Jesus with Ravens fans. That's
Okay.
really good.
Lisa, what advice would you give to your 20-year-old self?
I would probably tell myself to realize that the world is not about me.
Wow.
It's about what I can do for others. I wish I would have learned that a lot sooner. I can remember very distinctly walking past a homeless person when I was in college, and I had money in my pocket. Not much, but I had money in my pocket. And the gut feeling that I had when I walked past them and I didn't give them money or I didn't buy them food, and that disturbed me. That made a huge impact on me. And that's why I'm so passionate about feeding people. It's like that will never happen again because that could have been Jesus I just walked past. And that will never happen again. So always think about others before I think about myself.
Yeah, I like it. Thank you both for being with us. Thank you so much for those closing comments on what would you tell your 20-year-old self. Thank you so much. I also want to thank our production team that worked today's show, Dr. Jay Rasenko and Karan El Amin. Karan is one of the top racquetball players in the state of Maryland, and he is a member of the racquetball organization that I run in Baltimore called Racquetball Revival. You can learn more about that and actually see Karan's picture on the front page as he's there with professional coach Fran Davis and a few of the top players in the country at the professional level. So thank you, Karan, for being with us. Thank you, Dr. J, and thank you, Lisa and Pastor Dane Carraway, and thank you for watching another episode of Real Thoughts and Conversations. Take care.